So next step, we are going to find out where is the medial arch and where is the lateral arch and where is the transfer arch. So firstly, I would like to show you how to take the measurement. So we take the measurement from the first of metatarsal head to the posterior of the calcaneus, and then we are going to divide by 3. And after we divide by 3, so we just take 2/3 and really that is the medial arch. And then the other one, we are going to identify where is the medial arch located. So firstly, you need to transfer from the first head to the fifth head, and then find out where is the first head, second head of metatarsal, third, fourth, and fifth. So we just locate it, because when you find out, we just get it from the posterior of the head and then finally to the third of metatarsal head, and then get 2/3 anteriorly. So that is the medial arch, and here when you blend it, you just find out where is the navicula and take just distally of navicula, so we just blend it up until there. So that is the highest of the medial arch, so you just get it down. This is the highest, I mean the deepest point part, and the rest we just blend it. So that is the medial arch. And we are finding the lateral arch. So it's the same as the medial arch. We just measure from the fifth head of metatarsal to the posterior base of the calcaneus, and then we are going to divide it by 3. After we divide it by 3, so you just take 2/3 anteriorly, and then the widest part, it might go to the third of metatarsal, and then down it to the posterior of the fifth metatarsal. So that is the lateral arch. And for the transfer arch, you just find out the posterior of the metatarsal head here, and then you need to identify anteriorly to, posteriorly to the first, not first, to the metatarsal or posterior of metatarsal, posteriorly or proximally 1 centimeter, and then that is the deepest point of the transfer arch, and the rest you are able to blend it out. So that is the transfer arch. So next step, we are going to check how is the hind foot and the forefoot, because sometimes when you cast from the clients, it might be the forefoot is go to AD ductions, or too much AB ductions. So we need to check it, the hind foot and the forefoot must be parallel to each other and also must be parallel to the line of progression. So next step, I'm going to do the reduction. Firstly, I'm going to reduct on the medial arch. So that as I said, the deepest point for the medial arch, it must be the level of the navicula. Just blend deeply. It's about 3 to 5 millimeters, yeah, deeply, and then later on you are able to blend it. So yeah. So for reduction at the medial arch, as I said, you need to have a good assessment from the clients. From the side, and one is deeply. Next, we are going to reduct at the lateral arch. So as I said, for the lateral arch, you are unable to reduct on the base of fifth metatarsal. So we must blend a little bit to the sides, and then blend at the posterior of the base of fifth metatarsals. And entry of the fifth or base metatarsal or posterior of the fifth metatarsal. So for deeply, and I identify for this, for lateral arch it will be less compared to the medial arch. So you no need to take a lot for this part. And then you can see reduct at the transverse arch. So as I said, you just find out the fifth head of metatarsals, and then where the posterior parts of the head, and you just measure it from the third, yep, of metatarsal head, and then to the posteriorly or proximally, we call it proximally. So about 1 centimeter only, and then you make a deep point inside, also is 1 centimeter. So we are able to use with the scalpel, deeply that part first, and then next we are able to blend it on the other part. So for deeply, as I said, can be from 0.5 centimeter to 1 centimeter. Yeah, but we need to see how is the patient leg and how the patient can tolerate with the transverse arch or dome. Okay. So after we reduce it, you just blend it around. For the next step, before we flatten at the plantar surface of the foot, we need to identify how is the plumb line at the posterior of the calcaneus. So my mole, the alignment is not really correct. So when we press at the lateral side, the alignment is correctly. So it means that I'm going to deduct at the lateral side of the plantar surface. Okay. And after we deduct that, we also need to check how is the hind foot and the forefoot. It must be parallel to each other. So as I said, the alignment is not correct. Mainly it's bump at the lateral side of the foot. So I'm going to do the reductions on the lateral side. It's a little bit more. So now it's bumping in the middle part because it's shake. Yeah. So I'm going to reduct in the middle part. So for the next step, we are going to extend the forefoot. So before we extend the forefoot, you need to know how much for the length that you are going to extend. So for me, I'm going to put the nail. So when we extend the forefoot, the length, from the foot length, we must extend it from 2 to 3 centimeters. Okay? So for me, I put this 2 or 2 centimeters. So later on, I'm going to apply the Vaseline on the plate here. Easy to remove the mold from this plastic. I'm going to keep it for the few minutes, let it hard. Okay. So the places that we're going to be up, because of after I extend the forefoot, it doesn't extend I feel fully with the plaster. So this part I'm going to do the build up and lateral side either. It have a small hole, and then the places that we're going to do the build up mainly is on the base of fifth metatarsal. So we mainly when we build up, we always put is about 2 to 3 millimeters. So I put the nails to identify where is located, and then I'm able to understand that how much I'm going to build up. It's about 2 millimeters. Okay. And for the fifth of metatarsal head and the first metatarsal head, we also going to build it up. But when I measure my diameter, it already bigger than about 0.2 centimeters. Okay. So just slightly build it up. So when we build it up, it almost like 2 millimeters each side. So it's about 4 millimeters. Okay, so I'm going to do the plaster first. So we will be up on the base of fifth metatarsal head. Blend it slightly. Okay. So done for building up part. So after we build up, we just